I think it's I've got questions already, and I'm assuming that our audience will have questions as well. So we're jumping right on in. Welcome, everyone,
Okay.
to another episode of Spilling Ink, the talk show that takes you behind the book to meet the authors and professionals in the publishing industry. And you got me and Jane today for another author chat. This will be our
Hello.
December author chat. Next week, we've got some special guests to bring on, but this week, we're going to do all the talking.
Yes, we are. As soon as I find the freaking group. I am trying to find a name of a group that I got a plot from. Um, one of them was the Plot Genie, because we were talking about this before we went live.
Hey,
So
Amina.
so and the other one had to do with J.A. Culligan. And I don't remember what her group is called. But she has ad copy stuff. She's got stuff for blurbs. She's got plot stuff, which I actually got one recently in one of her sales, and
Hey, cool
that's what we were
gamer.
talking about. So yeah.
I think it's an interesting concept because we always talk pantsers versus plotters,
hmm
and sometimes you need something to spark you,
Yes.
and
Beside
having
the cover.
a service, yes, beside the cover, but sometimes
Mhm.
having a service that kind of gives you the bones that you can build your story around is a good way to foster that inspiration.
Yes.
And Plot Genie is the one you said?
Plot Genie is one, and then the other one, I can see the pretty logo, but I can't remember the name. All I know is J.A. Culligan is runs it.
Okay, so
Um,
what are you getting when you do something like this?
um, the Plot Genie, it's just there's a um 3-point plot, which is, just the beginning, the big scene, and then the end. And then there's more in-depth chapter by chapter plots, which are a little bit more. The service that I got on sale for the book that I'm trying to write right now is it was a full 3 points in each chapter of what the chapter should cover for 25 chapters, and it gave me a character profile of both the main female and the main male character. So that was great. And it gave me some ad copy, the blurb, everything. So it was actually quite nice. And I like to actually write the blurb early on, or sometimes even before I write the book. So it was nice to have it handed to me, that I don't have to painstakingly go, is this okay? Does this suck?
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I can't write the blurb until the very end, so
Yeah.
that's a totally foreign concept for me, but I can see how it works and how it can help you
Mhm.
to get your story framework in ahead of time, even if you are a pantser, because you're
Right.
still pantsing the rest of it. You're getting the bones you need.
Right. I mean, and it's a little easier than plotting out a story by myself and then trying to write the story, because we've had this conversation before. I did a whole plot years
And the
ago,
story's written then in
literally
your mind.
years ago, and it was more like bullet points in each chapter of what things had to hit, um, and it was a whole plot course that I took, and I finished it, and I couldn't write it for years. Years, years,
You
years,
essentially already wrote
years,
the
and
story.
then this came
Yeah.
out finally this year. I'm like, I have this outline. It's a decent story. I didn't really follow the outline to a T.
Never
But,
do.
yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this. And I did. Um, and it had been so far removed from when I wrote it, I think it made it easier.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for
I'm
me, if
like,
I tried to plot something ahead of time, in my mind, the story's already written and
mhm,
I don't need to do anything else. Like, the excitement of figuring it out is gone.
mhm.
But
And yeah, and
as
I'm
a
finding
ghostwriter,
yeah,
I had to work from outlines, so I've gotten used to working from outlines with the freedom of creativity to make it work within their confines.
Right.
And that's
Right.
okay too.
Right. And this outline is it has sort of specifics, but they're sort of vague. So I have a lot of latitude. It's just I have to figure out what I'm gonna plug and play into that to make it work and make it cohesive through the story. So it's interesting. It's
Now,
interesting from, writing with, writing from the seat of my pants.
which do you prefer? Do you prefer just letting the story come out, or do you like this working from an outline?
Um,
As long as you
I
don't
I
have to
still
write the outline.
Yes, exactly. I still prefer the pantster completely because the story goes wherever my mind goes when I'm not in this weird space that I'm in right now.
Okay.
Because I have an idea for the story for the second Assassin book that I'm also writing at the same time. And it's not fully formed in my head.
Okay.
Um, so it's coming out like pulling teeth at this point.
Oh.
Both of them are coming out like pulling teeth.
Oh.
And one's in first person, one's in third person. So, and I have not written third person in forever. So it's
And ping-ponging between the two perspectives is
yes, yes.
ah! Yep, it is
Yeah,
right. You never follow the outline to a T.
right.
Yeah, they burn that outline by the middle. Yeah, your characters
Mhm.
do have a life of their own.
Yes.
They're gonna do what they wanna do, and you kinda have to be taskmaster to an extent.
Yeah. I mean, with the outline that I got for the other fantasy book I'm writing, um, the character things were great because I really don't sit down and do a character motivation, you know, um, and growth chart
Okay.
basically. So it's nice to have that because it's like, okay. And I already changed the appearance of her because it fit the cover because I already had the cover,
Right.
obviously. One of my hundreds of covers that I have.
Your cover collection is envious.
Yes, but I will have covers, knock on wood, until I die.
And you'll still buy more too.
Um, maybe not when I retire.
I don't know. I don't see you, like, passing up a really good cover if you see, if it crosses your
If I'm
Facebook message or something.
if I'm making bank on writing, then you're right.
Sure.
If I'm just getting by like I am now on it, mm-mm, 'cause
Okay.
he won't let me spend money when we're retired
Ah,
on things
tighten the
that
purse strings.
mhm, exactly, which is the whole was part of the whole purpose of hoarding, is I knew it was coming.
Fair enough,
I
fair
knew it
enough.
was coming. I have what I can write for the next 10 years or so. Um, it's just now I've settled on 2 titles.
Okay.
Last time we talked, I was like, "I don't know what I'm gonna write next." And I have the 3rd one over here that I started, with the Ryans, sort of a spinoff on that, and I'm like, "I
Okay.
got that one over here in the corner." A few pages written, an idea, but I have no idea what the big bad is in that.
Mm.
So, at least in these 2, I somewhat know what the big bad is.
Now, in this plot service, you said that you
Yep.
got the main male and female character. What about the villain? Nothing?
No, nothing on the villain.
Okay.
So, that's all my creation.
Okay.
So, and I think I've already deviated a little bit from the plot in the
Which
first
is gonna
chapter.
happen. You're getting the framework.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, it's gonna have political intrigue.
Mm.
It's going yeah, with in a Fey world, all that, politics that goes on there.
Yeah.
It's gonna have special artifact. I haven't decided what the special artifact is.
I like it. I like it.
And, almost like a Raiders of the Lost Ark, trying to get the artifacts first.
Okay, okay. Treasure hunt.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
A
I like it.
dragon,
I like it.
a dragon, fae, and I've got a griffin in there. So
I mean, it's sounding good to me.
it's gonna be fun. It's just because it's not the creation in my head, it's a lot slower
Okay.
because I have to look at the next, the next bullet points in the paragraph and then in the next chapter and formulate it.
Okay.
Because
I've
I
got a
think that's
question
where
now
the
for the
difference
audience
is.
too. And if
Yeah.
anybody else who's watching, have you worked from somebody else's outline or an outline service, and what was your experience?
Yes.
I think that's a good question, but go ahead, continue.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's where, when I'm writing and just, the pantser stuff, I've already got the story baked in my
Mhm.
head. So, yes. um, eh, so that makes it easier most of the time because I've got the story baked. Now I'm just looking at the points and going, okay,
How do I make this work?
right, how do I make this work? How do I, I'm world building because it's fantasy.
Mhm.
And I'm so used to urban fantasy. So I have the scene and the world somewhat defined already,
Okay.
mostly New York City. um, but so I have to do world building
Yep.
and I have to figure out the political issues and how that goes into play because it's not really outlined. That's not outlined. It's
Okay.
just bullet points of, you know, political unrest.
You got the broad strokes, but you really have
Yeah.
a lot to fill in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Um, and they mentioned somebody who betrayed the main characters, but they hadn't mentioned them before,
Mm.
and they didn't mention a name about
Okay.
it. So it's like, and then also, I think they did some. They had names later and of these same people, and I'm like, okay, who are they in the scheme of things? I didn't know where they fit, so I had to figure that out. So it was
Okay.
like, okay, all right, you know, it was having a vague outline is nice, but not. Put it that way.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can sympathize.
From a ghostwriting perspective, are the outlines more in depth?
Yes.
Okay. All
Typically,
right.
all of the characters are listed with their important information,
Okay.
including the villain, their
Yep.
motivation,
Mhm.
and generally speaking, each chapter is already mapped out.
Okay.
So I know what needs to happen in each chapter with
Okay.
which characters. Um, but there's freedom to, make it make sense
Yep.
when things, aren't quite adding up to change to make things make sense. A lot of the research I've had to do is more on real world stuff.
Mhm.
When it's a police procedural, obviously
Mm.
researching police procedural stuff.
Yep.
When it's fantasy that's based in a real world, I still have to, research where they are, what this, the area looks like, what the weather patterns are like, you
Mhm.
know, because that's
Oh, yeah.
something that they run into that can cause problems. What weapons are being used, how they're being used. I mean, there's a lot of research that goes into it, even when I've got a pretty comprehensive outline. And that's usually
Mhm.
where things have to deviate is the outliner does the broad strokes and those finer points of detail can actually change quite a lot.
Right. Right. That makes sense. That makes sense. So, yeah, it's an interesting it's stretching my comfort zone.
Okay.
And we talked before about, how I used to write in third person. I'm writing this in third person because there's multiple views and I don't want to do multiple first person views
Right.
or go from first person to third person. I think that's jarring in books. And I don't think I could pull it off. I might be able to, but I would rather go all third person
Yeah.
and be able to have multiple characters have their say instead of just one character,
Makes sense.
focusing in on that. Um, and with the political intrigue, I kind of have to have those other views.
Hmm. Yeah, you gotta
Um,
show the different points of
yeah,
view and the different ways that they see the political conflict,
right, right.
why is their
Um,
belief the right way versus the other person's?
mhm. Yeah, I actually thinking about it in the Steve Williams series, when in the original versions, because I've redone them since the original ones to try to get them all into the big book. But in the original versions, most of the story was in third person except for the villain. The villain's viewpoint was in first person.
Okay.
So my bad guys had their own.
That works well in mysteries.
Yep.
It
Well,
it
those
really
are the
does.
FBI series. So
Uh-huh. Yep.
um, in the new versions, they're not in there anymore.
You removed the villain's point of
Yes.
view, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I did because it made it much less
Okay.
predictable. And when I reread it, I'm like, oh, okay, this is much more tense because you don't know,
Yeah.
what the killer's thinking, what their next move is, and things like that. So having their point of view was sort of like, surprise, look here, look in the window. And without it, it's much more, it gives the tension a little bit more.
Okay. I can
So
see that. I can see
yeah,
that.
yeah. And I was like, oh, that I didn't need it. So, but
So
yeah,
ping-ponging between first person point of view story and a third person point of view story, that's gotta be fun.
yeah, it's like using different sides of your brain. My brain is just not.
You catch
No.
yourself midway through a chapter realizing you've written the wrong point of view.
Yes, I have done that before too. Yes.
Oh, so annoying. That's one of the
Yes,
worst things, and you're like, "Oh, I gotta go back through and fix all of this now."
but at least they're both in past tense.
Okay.
Instead of, third person past and first person present.
Oh,
I've been writing books in first person present and first person past
that would
and
drive me nuts,
and
yeah.
done that. And then was reading and like, "Oh shit, I did." When you're reviewing it after you've written and you're like, "Okay, let's go see what I've written." Like, "Oh crap." The wrong tense.
Oh, yeah, one of those "Who wrote this shit?" "Oh, wait, it was me. God damn
Yeah.
it."
Yep. Exactly. No, I've written half a book and then gone back and said, "I don't like the present tense," and gone back and put it in past, or, "I don't like it in past tense," and gone back and put it in present. That's just
That's a lot of work, but if it makes the story better, you have to do it.
yeah. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
like, "This just isn't," if it doesn't feel like
yeah,
it's working, you have to change. You have to change it, so and I've done that a couple times, and it is such a pain in the ass, but
cursing yourself out the whole time. "Why
yep.
didn't you just do it this way?"
Exactly. Exactly. And I have I got Pro Writing Aid
Oh, good.
because they did, the sale this year.
Uh-huh.
So I got that and I'm like, "Okay, so maybe I won't be as comma deficient as I was."
Have you played around with it and looked at all the different settings and things that you
Yeah.
can? Because there's a lot of customizing that you can do that will automate some of that editing after you've
Right,
written a chapter just to kinda look things over to quick fix.
right, and if I put it as fantasy, it's very different than business or whatever the different
Yeah. Yep.
categories are. So I'm writing fantasy, I put it as fantasy.
Welcome, Rebecca.
Hello.
Writing too much. Uh-oh. Too much
Uh,
writing.
mhm. Mm. Yeah, I haven't done nearly enough. You know,
Yeah.
it felt good. I mean, I've got about 3,000 words in one and about
Okay.
2,000 words in another. So, but it's slow. It's very slow because
Mhm. I get that.
when you're trying to latch onto a character too,
Not
and
quite into your head yet.
trying to care here, and the Ryan book I've got like 5,000, maybe about 5,000 words in that one, and I'm like, I got to a point where I'm like, okay, who's the big bad? What's the big bad in this?
Mm.
Because I had the setting and all of that, and then I'm like, oh, okay, how do I make this any sort of tension? Um, Unless I make my main character the bad guy.
Ooh.
And I'm like,
Trixie, I like it.
uh, forgot to eat, forgot to drink.
Yeah. Rebecca sounds like she needs a break for
Yes,
sure.
yes, yes. She she finished and she felt like hell. So I'm sorry, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Hugs.
Rehydrate. Maybe take a nap.
Mhm. Yes. And yeah.
It is important that we nap, we sleep, we eat, all the good stuff.
Yep. Yes. Yeah, because I'm like, okay, so now I mean, it's tough because I've got to make somebody the bad guy, and I
Right.
can't make CJ. CJ is just not bad. CJ doesn't really have a bad bone in his body,
Okay.
except when he's ripping off Lucifer's head.
Well, we all have our days, okay?
Yes, exactly. No, but that was literal. uh, okay.
We're in the Victorian times. I'm showing a little shoulder.
Ooh. Ooh. People, I was hoping my husband would be painting because he would be back there and he would be entertaining us and in ways. He did some of it. My bar above my head is no longer the brownish color, it's gray now.
Yeah. It's coming together. It's coming together.
Yes, yes. He was like, "I don't wanna be on camera."
Cozy paranormal mystery work in progress made a character the surprise bad guy. I like the idea of
Mhm.
a surprise bad guy. I think
Yeah,
done right, it can be really good.
yeah, and I'm just like, ugh. Yeah.
Shoulders. I am so far removed from high school, I don't even remember.
I know, I know. I'm even more farther removed than you, so high school, what was that? I skipped most of it. Uh,
Yeah. See, I'm struggling with motivation right now. Like,
yeah.
I have things I wanna work on, but I just can't bring myself to work on them.
Mhm. I've thought about opening up the book that we're supposed to be writing and doing something there, and I haven't done that either. So it's like, okay, it's Christmas time. We're
Oh, don't get
still
me started on the whole Christmas time thing.
I know
I
we're
swear
still
every year I turn more into the Grinch.
we're still going through the family shit. So so it's not festive right now, or as festive as we would like it. Um,
Yeah. And
yes.
here I
No.
am, like, exactly turning into the Grinch. I'm like, "I'm so sick of seeing ads for everything. Everything's just trying to sell you something. God damn it. Just screw the whole season."
We were we were watching, Hallmark movies last night. Yes, we were watching Hallmark.
Okay.
And Darren's like, what is this fascination with royalty? All of these things are freaking royalty things. What is this fascination? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's the accent.
I think we all secretly want to be princesses. I don't know.
But he was just like, what is this? I missed the ending, or because we went to bed halfway through it the other night, and it was a really good one that this woman went back in time, and I really want to see the ending of it. She was supposed to be writing a script, and she was sent to this place in North Carolina. Rebecca probably knows where the Christmas mansion is in North Carolina. She'll probably even know the name of it. But it had that mansion in it, and they had filmed the movie there. And this one, or Pine Needles, yeah. And she was supposed to rewrite the script for a new version of it. Yes, the Biltmore. Christmas at the Biltmore. That was the name of the movie too. And I really want to see the ending of it. It's sad when you miss it, because it was like, oh, this is kind of interesting, because anytime she'd turn the hourglass over, she'd pop back to 1942 when they were filming the movie.
Cool.
It was really quite intriguing for a Hallmark movie, because it's a romance, and it's just like, how does that work?
I have not watched a single Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Well, Hallmark Christmas movie.
Well,
I don't think I want to this year. I'm not in the mood for that sappy stuff.
Yeah, we went out drinking last night and had our lovely little ice cream sandwich at our watering hole, and then came back, and I did not want to watch football. So yes. But the movie was pretty good. It was about a movie shot there, not.
I'm not saying you guys shouldn't watch it. I'm saying I've turned into the Grinch this year, and that's just it.
Yeah. Yes, I'm sure it was done over that. Yep. See, I knew she knew the place.
Yep, she would.
Because when we were down there, my nephew said, you might, if you've never seen it at Christmas time, you should go. We didn't, because we were just chilling, and we didn't feel like driving an hour and seeing it decorated for Christmas. It's like, yeah, okay. Woohoo. No, every single stuff. Yeah, it's like the royalty, the small town,
the high-powered executive going to the small town.
Yep. And this one was different. That's why I was like, ooh, this has my attention. But it was a work night, and I couldn't stay up until midnight. And I'm like, yeah. So yeah, we usually make fun of the small town ones, because they always get things wrong. And we were so funny last year watching one that they traveled from Maine, which is our thing, to Charleston, South Carolina, which we are very familiar with, because my brother lives there. Now, they had it snowing in Charleston, snowing almost all the way down, this back road, not highway. I'm like, who wrote this? They didn't even look at Google Maps. Oh my God. Yeah, she probably cried at every ending too, because she was pregnant.
Do they have ChatGPT churning out these plots, or do they actually have a person? And if so, I will be that person that writes the same plot over and over again.
It's very formulatic to a T. There's a formula they follow for every single one.
But it has to be working, because yes, we pick on them for it, but they still put them out because they're still getting the views.
Yep.
So it's still
Because
working.
it's all, a feel good ending. It's the happily ever after ending that, and it's not the happy for now. Yeah, she crying. Yes. And it's the happily ever after.
Well, it's the
So,
implication of happily ever after, but you never see the after part. You just
right,
see the happy for now.
right. But
Yeah,
it's, yeah,
let's see that high-powered executive with her homegrown hero in a small town for the rest of her life going just crazy because
yes.
she's used to
She's
living
in a
in the
small
city.
town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Let's see that.
Yeah.
Show
Yeah.
me them in 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, I personally would like to see Silent Night, but he probably would. If I had my choice of Christmas movies, it would be. I haven't seen that yet, and I really want to see it.
See, and Rebecca and I'm sitting there going, lies! It's all lies! It's not comforting. I told you I'm
Yes.
the Grinch this year.
Yeah.
I'm the Grinch. My heart is, what is it, 2 sizes too small or whatever. Yeah. Totally the
Yeah.
Grinch this year.
But I mean, yeah, it's sappy and yeah.
We go find Whoville and steal all their presents.
Well, watch Silent Night with me and watch Santa smash people.
That sounds good, actually.
Well, it's the guy from oh my God. I just lost a show in my head. Anyway, but that's the one I wanna see, and I'll probably have to watch it.
What's the
Maybe
other
we'll
one? Krampus,
I don't know.
the horror Christmas movie. I think it's
Yeah.
Krampus. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Well, Rebecca, is it? Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe
Die
you
Die
know?
Hard is absolutely one of mine. I love Die
Of course.
Hard.
Of course.
Yes, yes, yes. That's a given. Oh,
Krampus
Krampus.
is okay. Yeah. I think I need to watch that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
not in the Christmas spirit this year. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to, put up the show. I've got the tree up. I've got presents that I need to wrap. I'm trying
Mhm.
to do what the kids need, but and I've gone 100% Grinch this year.
Mm. Yes. Whoops.
So what? Did I
Oh,
miss something?
Thanksgiving Now?
Is
Huh?
that a name of a movie? Thanksgiving Now?
So is
Mm,
that
Give her a second.
yeah. I'm like, ah, put on
Put
the
on
green
the green wig.
wig.
I need to find my green wig. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. My acid green wig.
Thanksgiving is a new horror movie.
Oh.
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, I know what she's talking about. Yep. Each person becomes one of the dishes.
Oh, no. I mean, I can slaughter people in books, but no.
Yeah.
No, I want to see Silent Night. I gotta see that this year now that it's not in theaters. So
There you go. Is it on
yeah,
a streaming channel?
I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be.
I'll have to look
Um,
for that then.
yeah.
That'll be my feel good Christmas movie.
Yes. Yes. Well, he's protecting the kids, so
If it's for the
Santa.
kids, it's all good.
Santa. It's like, yeah, Santa. It's like he comes to New York and kicks ass.
Okay. All right. I think she's talking about the new one.
No. No, I'm talking about the new one with the guy from, oh, and I blanked on the movie or the show. Season 4 is supposed to be coming out for that one.
Drawing a blank
And
too.
it's got Elle. Elle is the main character. Just yeah. No, I'm talking about the new one that came out last year, last Christmas.
Well, you know what I'll be looking up after we're done with the show tonight?
Yes. I think it's Silent Night.
Anybody
Yeah,
else
I
with
think you're
me?
talking about Silent Night, Deadly Night, right? The horror movie, but this is different.
Is anybody else with me on the Grinchy Christmas vibes this year? Or am I just the only one? Did you find it?
No, that's not it. Uh, not the one about the gang.
Apparently there's a lot of Christmas slasher films.
Yes, there is.
Why?
There actually
Okay.
is. Huh. Yeah, no, this is not what I was watching. Hold on. What is the guy from Stranger Things is in it?
I did not watch Stranger Things.
I like that. It was really good. Um, uh,
Violent Night?
yes, maybe it's Violent Night. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. I'm thinking Silent Night, Violent Night. Hey, it rhymes, right?
Same plot, less full frontal nudity.
Yes. Is that what it says?
No, that's what Rebecca just said.
Yeah. Violent Night. Yes, not Silent Night.
Violent Night. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Violent
Thank you, Anita,
Night.
for that one.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. David Harbour. The guy from from Stranger Things, the dad.
That'll be the feel good Christmas movie.
Yes. Yes. I should have known that, but anyway. And Christmas Wish comes out on Tuesday. So, yeah. I should watch something Christmassy.
Christmas Wish.
Yes, Christmas Wish. Hold on. Let's see. Window. Let's see. Can I do this? Hold on. There we go. Did that come up?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I thought we were talking about a movie. I'm like, wait a
No,
second.
no. Christmas Wish.
Yay.
Christmas Wish comes out on
Well, there's something to
Tuesday.
celebrate.
Yes, yes. Yeah,
Such a
fun.
good cover, too. I love
Yes.
that cover.
Yeah, so that comes out on this Tuesday, and then the Silent Night trilogy comes out
Are you
next
doing anything
Tuesday.
special for marketing on that one?
No. Aw, thank you. Yeah, no, no. And I'm not really marketing the duet either, you know.
Oh, so
This is coming. Yes, this is the hardback.
Oh,
Hardcover, and the hardcover has the bonus scene in it.
okay.
The ebooks, you have to subscribe to my newsletter to get the bonus scene.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, and then it's free. So
no special marketing. How has that been going for you? Because I know you were working on trying to work with Amazon ads to see if you can get those working at one point.
I said it and forget it, and I
Okay.
really should look at it, and you know, that's a retirement focus, is
Yeah.
to figure out
Well, it's a
ads.
full-time job doing the marketing.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So that is, you know, on the task list of to-dos when I finally am not working and, you know, have to split my time between stuff. And, you know, I'm doing a lot of uh, not ad copy, but just ads without copy right now through BookBrush. Just
Okay.
having some fun there.
Now, BookBrush that's where you
It's
do the graphics.
yeah, the
Okay.
graphics, you can do videos, you can do 3D books, you can do banners, things like that. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's a pretty easy tool,
Nice.
which is really good because, when I look at GIMP or I'm learning GIMP, it's still a nightmare. And Photoshop would just be foreign to me.
I think everyone has this feeling right here. And Rebecca says, all the joy and laughter immediately leaches out of Jane's voice when she starts talking about marketing.
Yes, yes,
Oh, marketing.
yep,
Drain my will to live, please.
yes, it's, buy my books, that's about
Right.
and when I retire, I've gotta start being more engaging in my group, in my Instagram, in my things like that,
Yep.
because I'm posting, but I'm not truly engaging, with
Yep.
people as much as I'd like, because it's like, okay, the conundrum is where do I spend my time?
Yeah.
And right now it's writing. 99% of the time it's gotta be writing or surfing the net. You know? Or watching those stupid video
Research.
watching those stupid videos. The mindless cooking ones or the chocolate one of the guy making the Willy Wonka thing. That was just, like,
That was cool.
mesmerizing.
Yeah, that was cool to watch.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know, I watched
It's
that
just
one.
like it comes across, I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then you watch it over and over, and I'm like, "That is just so soothing." And I
Mhm.
hate to bake, I hate to cook, I
Yeah, no,
hate
I don't
all
wanna
that.
make it, but I'll watch someone else do
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Okay, I'm crying now. Ah,
Yep, cake
yes,
decorating videos.
yeah.
So, there's a show on Netflix called Is It Cake? And I don't have the patience to watch the building part of it, but me and Zoe ran through an entire season just watching the opening where they guess if something's cake or not, and then the end when they do it again.
Oh
We
my
went through the
gosh.
we had so it was one night we just had a great time going through the entire season, just beginning, fast forward, end.
Oh, that's funny. Oh,
Like, I don't care about the personal stories, I don't care about how you got here. I wanna see if you made something that I could guess if it was cake or not.
right, right. Oh my
And there's,
gosh.
like, 2 full seasons, so it's great.
Yeah, yeah. And having experienced my daughter trying to make she made things that didn't really look like cakes either, but they were really good. And had a secret bad guy at the end too, okay. Ah, so, but yeah, I'm a little scatterbrained. You're unmotivated and I'm scatterbrained, so and I
Well,
just want this place painted. It's getting there. The ugly brown is almost gone. So, yeah.
yeah, I'm just kind of riding out to the end of the year, I think, hoping
Mm,
after, the crazy holiday stuff is over, maybe life
yeah.
will settle into some kind of good normal.
Yes.
But yeah, right now, no motivation, super Grinch mode for Christmas. It's just yeah.
Yeah, I basically have all the Christmas gifts in the house.
And Rebecca's just running with this "Is it cake"
Yes,
stuff.
the entire set was a cake. Yeah, she's going cake wild.
But you know
Uh,
what? Watching cake videos, I don't know why, but they are so addictive.
they are. Any sort of creative process. I mean, I've
Mhm.
watched somebody paint. I've watched, them do the, murals and things
Yep.
like that. Just it's soothing.
It is. It is.
However, you can get lost in the rabbit hole.
Very easily.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That uh, when my workday is slow now, I'm watching like the cut scenes of Game of Thrones. It's coming. Oh, let's watch that again because it comes up on my stories. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll just watch it just to just to zone out because, you know, I'm
Yeah.
winding down at work and it's not really stressful, but being bored is stressful in itself,
That's true.
you know?
That's true.
I get excited when they say you need to do something. I'm like, "Okay,
Wait,
cool."
what? What do we need to do?
But I know I'm not gonna be put on any sort of big project
Yeah, because
'cause I'm
you're
leaving
on
and
short time now.
yes, yes, I'm a short timer, so
Yep.
but, you know, yeah.
I think that that's kind of like the root of the problem too. It's the lack of purpose
Yep.
really is the root of that problem because it ties into the no motivation, the no, excitement over anything. You don't
Mhm.
have a purpose driving you. You're kind of just there,
Right, exactly.
waiting for the
Exactly.
hours to pass.
Yep. Or, I you know, that's usually when I write if I have downtime,
Sure.
but when I'm struggling to figure out the story, there really is nothing to write.
Yep.
So it's like I guess I could bring my Kindle down and read. Because reading is another way of getting your brain
True. True.
to turn and
Instead, you just start watching random videos and then
yep, random videos. Yep, exactly.
and fall down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, the the ones that get me sometimes are the AI dancing with the different faces that change on
I don't think I've seen those.
like Robert Downey Jr. changes to this person, changes to that person, and it's all this dancing. I'm like, that's not that
All
dancing,
right,
that's
something
all
new to look up
AI.
now.
That's all AI. But I still watch it because it's amusing.
Yep.
I and yeah. Let's not get started about AI. Skynet.
Oh, yeah. We've already gone down that rabbit hole
I
before.
know, I know, I know. Then they released the ants, okay. I just caught that.
Rebecca's stuck on the cake is
Yes,
a cake
yes,
show.
yes.
Plot twist.
Yeah. So, Rebecca wasn't here for the plotting versus pantster conversation. Which is she?
Rebecca, if you're still listening, plotter, pantser, or would you like to choose the what is it, the plot genie option? I think as a framework is not a bad idea.
Right.
But if what you're saying about not being able to figure the story out is causing you a hang up, then maybe it's not as good.
You're a plotster now. Okay.
Plotster. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's weird because I have a few other outlines out there, not as in depth as this one,
Sure.
that I should, go back and look at. And, I had them assigned to books at one point, and they're, on my big to write list.
Sitting right next to the pile of covers.
Yes, exactly, exactly. It's funny because it's like when I only had a few, it was easy to pinpoint what I'm gonna write next. Now with all these pretties, I'm like, it's like
It's the
squirrel. I wanna go
analysis
here. I wanna go here.
paralysis. It's the too many options analysis paralysis.
Yes,
It makes it hard
exactly,
to narrow it down and actually choose, and then
exactly.
to not only choose, but commit.
Yes, yep. And at right now I have 3, so okay.
See,
Okay.
I'm still in that if I'm writing for myself,
Mm.
I can do a bare bones to-do list outline. I
Yep.
can work with that, but if I write anything too in depth, the story's essentially written for me, and I lose
There's
that.
no spark.
Yeah,
There's no spark. There's no excitement.
yeah, because I've already
And
done all the hard work.
Yep.
I need that adventure of figuring it out along the path
Yeah.
to be part of that. Commit is such a dirty word. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be, though. It shouldn't
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. Ancient Goddess was from the outline that I wrote many years ago. Modern Goddess was the jumping point from that.
Okay.
So the overarching arc of both books covered the overarching arc that I had at the beginning of my outline anyway. So that was good.
Yeah, what works for you works for you. That's, I mean, there is no right or wrong way to do it if
Right.
that's what your process is. It's just interesting to see how each person does their process.
Right. And, as I said, it's a stretch for me. So I'm stretching some things and challenging myself in trying to do this. And with the pure fantasy, making a full world
Yeah,
is
that's a lot to undertake.
yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm so used to urban fantasy.
And you
Plug
do
and
need
play in
to
New York.
take your time with it, get your rules in place, because once you set those rules, you can't break them, which means further down the series, those rules become set in stone and you really have to have them to fall
Yeah.
back on.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
Yes, characters don't always behave, do they?
Yeah. No, they
Now, that's
don't.
the one downside from writing from an outline where the characters are supposed to do this in this chapter, and you're like, but it's not quite working that way when I write it. And then you have to
Yes.
do some mental gymnastics to figure out how to get it to work and get your characters back in line, because they're not technically your characters when you're a ghostwriter. But when you're writing them, you still process them just like if they are your
Right.
characters.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. Yeah,
Yes.
and you have to rein them back in. It's like
Oh,
herding
yeah.
cats.
Oh, yeah. It is. It absolutely is. And yeah. Maybe that's what my evil thing in the
An evil chicken, I love it.
yes.
I think we all want an evil chicken now. I like
Mhm.
this. A Norse rooster. Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Interesting.
I'm curious now, and apparently so is Rebecca.
Yes, it's like, "Oh my god."
What's the weirdest character that you've written?
The weirdest?
Yeah.
It might have been the cat. The
Oh,
Rita.
yeah. That cat was a good
Um,
character.
yes.
I mean, who
Yeah, and
doesn't love a
I
snarky
don't
cat?
Huh?
Who doesn't love a snarky cat?
I know, I know. I know. But the weirdest, let's see. I mean, I haven't written full on fantasy before, so I'm sure this one's gonna have some weird ones.
I mean, give yourself permission to write them weird.
Yeah, 'cause, I've got a fae and a dragon and a griffin, and those are the three ones that are please say yes, what?
The Roosters of Ragnarok. And Rebecca's day has been made.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, "Ragnarok, okay." I
Oh,
destroyed all the realms except for Earth, so hey!
weirdest character I wrote, Dr. Quackenboss the zombie cow. I love that.
Okay.
I love that, Anita. That's awesome.
That is. Yeah, my brain is racking. I'm like, I don't really have any weird characters outside of the snarky cat.
That was such a good character.
Mhm. Yes.
I like
Mm.
I write quirky characters. I don't think they're necessarily weird, but they're quirky.
Yeah.
Like I have one character who's Dumbo's feather is his hat. He's very sensitive
Okay.
about his hat,
Okay.
even though he looks like an asshole with it on.
Hmm.
Another character who likes to quote Princess Bride. See, it's a
Well,
defense mechanism. It works.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like weird. No. I don't know.
Well,
I've
there
got
you go.
a
Permission to write a weird character into your story.
okay. And I have lots of opportunity based on the outline.
There you go. Maybe that'll spark some inspiration for you.
Yes. Yes, we have different quests, we have different things going on, so I have to try to incorporate lots of different subplots. Normally, uh, I don't have a lot of layers of plots in my book, I would say.
Okay.
You know, I have a main overarching one in my books, but having multiple subplots is going to definitely and then Trell, I will also go to hell, yay. Um, uh, yeah, it's definitely gonna challenge me, so it'll be interesting to see what comes out, and hopefully it's not crap.
Yeah, you don't have an editing deadline on that one, do you?
No, I
Okay.
do not.
So you do have
I
freedom to
haven't
work with it.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
the second Assassin one, I have an editing deadline, and it's in the same world as The Witch Assassin.
Okay.
So I have the overarching thing with that. So it'll be interesting, and I don't think there's a big bad the way there was in The Witch Assassin, but there's a lot of tension. Then she has to get away from the the other assassin she's been partnered with. So
Yeah,
yes,
you mess with time. Mm.
I know. I know. Ah,
Well, we'll check back in with you, see how you're doing.
next time, yes.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
And speaking of next time, we already have that show booked, and we have
Yes.
special guests coming next week, so it'll be a
Yes.
fun show.
Yes, and hopefully my week goes well with 2 releases this week and then 1 release the following week.
I mean, that should go
So
well, knock
yeah.
on wood.
Yep.
It's a good time of year. You've got
Yep.
an on-brand release for the time of year.
Yes.
Very cool cover, good story, part of a series that's already been loved. So,
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
it's everything's lined up.
Yep. And then on the 12th, the hardcover of the 3 books.
So,
Yes.
Jonesy, you saw next week's show teaser.
Next week.
I have two. I went and put this week and next week up at the same time.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Yeah, so the hardcover with the Silent Night cover. So Silent Night trilogy. So you've got Joy, Silent Night, and Christmas Wish in a hardcover.
Ooh,
So yes, it'll be pretty.
nice.
Sort of like I like my hardcovers. This one,
Yeah,
this
hardcover is
one
nice.
is the 6x9, so I didn't have to do the 7x10s for either one of those. So I'm like, I like this size.
Yeah,
It's
six
really
by
pretty.
nine for hardcover
Yes,
is a really nice size.
yes,
Feels good in the
yes.
hand. It's big
Yep,
enough
yep,
page-wise so that you can get
yep,
a lot of the words on there so you can really utilize the pages
yeah,
properly.
yep.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So that was a fun thing. And then
Yay.
yeah, so yeah, most of my other ones, they have so much packed in them that they're 7x10.
Yeah. But you
But
had to do that because you
yes, I
had
had
so
to.
much you were trying to put them in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, my bookshelf has gotten smaller because I have all the anthology or the group series copies now. But I have an entire shelf of stuff that I have to give away,
Oh no.
or that not have to, that I want to give away. So, yeah.
Yeah, 6
Exactly.
by 9, that's a good size for hardcover. I like 5
Yeah.
by 8 for soft cover, but for hardcover, 6 by 9 is a really
Yeah.
good size.
Yeah, most of my, paperbacks are 6 by 6. Well, maybe.
Depends on who you ask.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Now, Rebecca, you have to behave yourself next week, especially if
Yes,
Z is going to
exactly.
be with us.
Yes, someone should be small.
You
Made
made
me
me
snort.
snort.
That was good.
Oh, well, on
Yes.
that note, we'll let you get to your releases next week.
Yeah,
And thank everyone for hanging out with us tonight. And we will be back next week with 2 very special guests and some more fun stuff to talk about.
absolutely. And we'll all
Uh-oh.
behave.
Behave. Yes,
Yes,
behave if Z is on the
behave.
show. And believe me, I'm telling her the same thing too.
Yes.
All right, guys,
All
we
right,
will see
everybody.
you next week.